Yo, what's good, NBA YouTube? It's your man 100 Grand, Ross with the Rock Never Stops, coming to you with another episode within our series, My Favorite Thing About Your Favorite NBA Team. Today, we're talking about the Orlando Magic. Yes, the Orlando Magic, the place where they always get but so close and then fall off. Today, we're going to be talking about how the Orlando Magic are starting their third run and hoping to get this close again. If you like the video, please subscribe. Smash the like button, leave some comments, and I'll definitely get back to you. The Orlando Magic are a squad that's literally kind of interesting to watch, fun to watch too. They're a really exciting team. They finally got their coach, though I really like Steve Clifford. I thought he did a hell of a job with that past roster. But the team right now is a bunch of young guys who all have incredible talent. I mean, incredible talent. Guys who seem to have that, what they call like that eye of the tiger, that I know I'm great. I want to be great. I'm going to fight every single game. I'm going to prove to you that I'm everything that I think I am. And the cool part about watching them develop is that they're all going to have an opportunity to show that they're that guy. Now, when you look at this roster, the first thing you have to take a look at is the players that are still there from their previous era. The Nikola Vucevic, Steve Clifford, Terrence Ross, Evan Fournier, DJ Augustine, those playoff teams. Even though they would lose in the first round, they got to the playoffs. I want to say like 4 years in a row. Nikola Vucevic was an all-star, I want to say 2 to 3 years in a row out of that. So they had a series of time where they were winning, right? But now they eventually had to hit the restart button because when they brought in Markel Fultz, and I'm going to get into this more later, he got injured and they saw it wasn't going to happen for them again. And then they had too many injuries. And then it was the whole post-pandemic. There was no reason to keep paying all this money to these players. So they traded them off to places where they felt that the players could win and they can get out of that salary. But now, through the draft, the past couple seasons, and some young guys that have carried over from the previous era, namely Jonathan Isaac, they're looking to rebuild and define who is going to be that guy that they rebuild around. Now, as I mentioned a moment ago, Jonathan Isaac was one of those pieces. Jonathan Isaac is a 6'10", 6'11" hybrid forward guard out of Florida State. This dude, honestly, like when I saw him, I saw Paul George. When I saw him, I saw that enigma, that unicorn type player, but I was concerned about him. His rookie season, he had nonstop ankle injuries, almost like Stephen Curry did. He kept rolling his ankle bad and would be out for a month and a half. He didn't heal fast at all. And then he had a knee injury. And this is where I was a little frustrated with the Orlando Magic. Going into the bubble, nobody was expecting them to make a run in the playoffs, even if they made the playoffs. And Jonathan Isaac was coming off this knee injury, hadn't played most of the season, but was cleared to play and have been practicing. And here you are in the bubble. You've got this really talented player, but you decide to roll the dice and play him. Now he's got this huge brace on his knee, right? And I'm gonna be honest, Jonathan Isaac was playing good. He was playing really well in the bubble until took that Derrick Rose step. And zip zip, there went his knee, and he's out for the next season. Then the Orlando Magic go out and they pick up Markel Fultz from the Philadelphia 76ers. Great pickup. But then the problem was he got hurt as well last year. And I'm gonna be honest, once again, he showed incredible promise. Incredible, like not just a little bit of promise. He looked like a dominant player, like a I can impose my will, I can do whatever I want out here. There's nothing you could do with me type player. I was actually kind of excited because he also played both ends of the ball, which is rare for players that talented. He was extremely selfless, setting guys up, a great playmaker. great in transition. I mean, he really changed the game when he was out there on the court with Vucevic, Aaron Gordon, Evan Fournier, Terrence Ross. I mean, he was a closer for them. He was a closer. He could get buckets. He's probably the best shot creator on that team. But then he went down early in the season. And so then the Orlando Magic are like, look, what are we doing? We might as well blow this thing up. And they do. But creates an opportunity for another young player, Mr. Cole Anthony, second generation NBA player, father Greg Anthony, who had his glory years on the New York Knicks, playing on those uh, battle tested playoff teams with Patrick Ewing and Pat Riley and Chris Childs. And um, I believe he was in the Chris Childs, Latrell Sprewell era as well. But either way, Greg Anthony, his son Cole Anthony, was I think he was ranked at one time the number one player of his class, of his high school class. But then he comes to Orlando Magic, and as soon as Markel Fultz goes down, they're like, "Why not? Let me see what you could do, young fella. Let me see what you got." And what does he do? He starts hitting game winners, game winners. I'm talking about deep from three over the outstretched hand of the defense. Yo, I ain't seen a rookie do that in games since Damian Lillard. I'm not saying he's Damian Lillard. I'm saying I haven't seen it since Damian Lillard. Cole Anthony proved to everybody, yo, I'm legit. I'm here. I'm here. And even though he fell in the draft, yo, he was for real. And he kept showing it throughout the whole season. He had leadership skills. He was a playmaker, definitely a big time shot creator. And he was able to shoulder that burden of being the guy that they leaned on to say, get us a bucket. But he wasn't the only one. He had another young guy by the name of Chuma Okiki. Chuma Okiki out of the University of Auburn, who spent his rookie year on the injury list, recovering from a knee, I believe it was an ACL injury that he had his last year there. And Orlando Magic knew his talent. And they was like, look, we know how talented you are. We're going to pick you up. We're going to let you heal up and give you the Joel Embiid treatment. And we're going to let you heal up like they did Michael Porter Jr. in Denver. And we're going to see what you got, young fella, the next year. And what he do last year? Yo, he was solid. I don't know if he was star potential. He didn't necessarily show star potential, but he showed he was solid. He showed, oh, he's an NBA player. He's got it. 6'8", long, 6'11", 7-foot wingspan. Could play multiple positions. Has some good ball handling for somebody that size. He looked good. He looked good. And then you had a couple of guys that they brought in. One that they drafted. You got Mo Bamba. I don't know if anybody sees star with him, but don't be shocked. Yeah, I realize Miles Turner, he had a slow development. Another center that came out of University of Texas. Right? These guys don't always develop in the time that we want them to. Jarrett Allen was another one who just got paid, who came out of University of Texas and took a while to really take strides and develop. And now you got Mo Bamba. Now, could he become an all-star? I wouldn't be shocked. He's incredibly skilled. It just took him a while to get strong enough to play that position physically and to understand how to utilize his body and his length and his skills. I mean, he can definitely shoot the three ball, take you off the dribble a little bit. He reminds me a lot of Miles Turner, just a little bit longer and taller. But then they also got my man Wendell Carter Jr. out of Duke University, who's with the Chicago Bulls, where he was just, oh my goodness, itching for a chance to get on out of there. And he did. He did. He got out of there. And then the Nikola Vucevic trade, Orlando Magic picked him up, and interestingly enough, they started him immediately over Mo Bamba. Now that's kind of rough because they're in the same draft together. Mo Bamba, Wendell Carter Jr. in the same draft together. I believe I want to say Wendell went before Mo. Somebody check that out for me and let me know. Did Wendell Carter Jr. get drafted before Mo Bamba or vice versa? But either way, Mo had been there going on his third year, and they started Wendell over him immediately. Had to have been a tough pill to swallow. Had to have been. But the reality is, he looked good. And in the preseason, he looks even better. He's finally back to shooting that three ball. Wendell Carter Jr. looks like he's going to be a solid center for a long time. But then you got the stud. You got the potential star player that fell to the Magic. You got Jalen Suggs. Now, I'm gonna be real. Jalen Suggs, it's hard to know what to make of him because I don't know if there's a prototype for him. I don't know if there's a guy that you go like, oh yeah, he plays like this guy. Close thing I kind of think of is like Brandon Roy type vibe. Maybe it's just because they both light skin, but he's got that it. He's got that energy that players want to really follow him. Players want to play with him. They trust him. They'll let him take big shots. And what you saw throughout Summer League is he was ready to, making game winning plays, chase down blocks, big time dunks, clutch jump shots from deep. Jalen Suggs might be the answer they was waiting for. And if so, they will be oh so happy to get up out that lottery or at least have a direction. Because right now, Jonathan Isaac, apparently he's still hurt. He's still hurt. His knee is still bothering him going into training camp, which is a bad sign. Not just training camp preseason. It's a bad sign for somebody who's had nonstop lower leg injuries his entire first 4 years of his career. And they just re-signed him, breaded him out. And so I don't know which one is going to pop up. I can still talk about RJ Hampton. I haven't even talked about him. My bad. RJ Hampton, who decided to go overseas, played in Australia with Lonzo Ball, got drafted last year. About 6'5" when he was drafted, about 6'6", maybe 6'7" by now. Extremely explosive, great end-to-end speed, can handle the ball, play make, initiate offense, almost like that point guard, off guard type vibe. Kind of like a Zach Levine with more point guard skills. And you got him showing off that he's got some, not just shot making ability, but he got some of that takeover gene. You know what I mean? He's got some of that like Zach Levine, like, give me the ball, I'm just gonna out jump somebody, or I could pull up and shoot over the top of them, or outrun them down the court and get an easy dunk after a steal or something in transition. But even he looks extremely promising. And so I don't know which one of these young guys are gonna really bubble up and really burst into that star that they're looking for. But I tell you this much, I'll be watching. I'll be watching. And that's my favorite thing about this Orlando Magic team, once again, is that they're a star waiting to happen. So if you like this video, please like, subscribe, leave some comments, let me know what you think. Put suggestions down on videos you might want to see. I take them, I definitely respond. Let me know. I'm going to get at you soon. Peace.